Thank you.
At this point, we will allow an open dialogue between the panel. If you have questions, there is 15 minutes allotted. You can use all 15 minutes, or you can't. It's up to you. So, questions?
So when will this learning occur? Is it in a specific subject area class? Is it a gifted and talented piece? Where are you going to vision that this project-based learning would occur within your school day?
Actually, the iTunes U course provides resources for K to 12, so this can happen across all grade levels, across all content. The cool thing about PBL is it's integrated, so there's multiple subjects. So we envision that the learning would take place during any PD opportunity at the school, possibly a CFIT, possibly grade level team meetings, possibly an after school session, and then the teachers would implement within their own.
How we sell that to get to that point, because that just doesn't happen. You just don't say, oh, here's the plan, have fun, because we know how that works. It's not intentional enough then. Our goal was to take this, and if you look at our timeline that's on the, we didn't get a chance to get to that timeline that's on the website, but there's a timeline on the website that outlines where we would go. And the first step we would go is we want to go in front of council, in front of the principals in our county, the leaders, and say, hey, here's what we can do, and here's how we know that this can happen. Start there. Then get an opportunity to get in with some other leaders in our county, which is our lead teachers. Our lead teachers have a great influence over what happens in buildings because there are in-building coaches. So what will happen then is we go to them. We already have people in the county that are really doing the project-based learning and really making good strides. I'll just use some examples off the top of my head. I know Fontdale does a great job of this. My wife works at Salem Avenue. I know they're using some of these things. There's other buildings. I'm a secondary person. We need to shift this stuff up from elementary schools into our secondary schools as well.
And utilizing those people that he's talking about, utilize them as well. They're experts in actually implementing this in classrooms with kids, and that's our goal, is to get it into the classroom level, but you have to build capacity for it to be able to happen effectively.
Right.
By offering the prize at the end and the opportunity to have your call to action on the website, and then to possibly also receive the collaboration station, that will be motivation.
I don't remember the total amount of money was that we could use, but I think ours ends up being somewhere around $4,500. I mean, if this is something that would work, we envision, hey, to do this again and give other people opportunities to get in there and put a couple of these hubs. If we get the support that we can get from you guys and from from the board to finance that.
So do you anticipate? I know you said that there's a calendar on the Weebly. You would anticipate doing the professional development starting in the summer, and then
we would actually like to start right away.
Okay.
We originally missed a few of these classes due to weather and other things. We wanted to start in January.
Right.
So we're kind of pushing back a little to February. We're ready to roll in February with the professional development.
There's actually a deadline page on there, and we would choose and launch end of May and into June, so the end of the school year, we would have the call to action on our website and have our winners chosen. So it happened this school year. We have a plan for that to happen.
So sort of a clarifying question. So the actual Mission Possible is the process by which you would engage people in all of this.
Right.
The iLearn Maryland that you showed up is a resource that people who are involved in this process could access. Is iLearn Maryland your platform? Did you create that platform, or is that an existing?
No, the PBL course on iTunes U, iLearn Maryland, yes, is established, but the course we created as a team.
Carly had a lot to do with that iTunes U.
Okay. So there's a process by which you would engage people, and part of what they would do, perhaps, are the iTunes courses. I'm trying to understand how the pieces that you presented fit together.
The iTunes U course is the PD that would enable teachers to do PBL effectively. Give them all the tools in one place. It also then, the website, the Weebly, gives them a place to blog and share things like questions or ideas. Like, my students are amazing right now. This is what I'm so excited about, or I'm still struggling with the driving question. Any ideas on driving questions? So there's an interactive piece on the Weebly, and the iTunes U course is just, there are so many resources, and instead of going places, it's all housed together, and it gives a very structured way to find that information.
So you, in preparation for this, you found the resources from everywhere and you put them together in a place that's easily accessed through the iTunes U course.
And I think when you think iLearn Maryland and you think MSET and you think of all those are resources that we've drawn from. Catherine has some strong ties with MSET, and those are places where we can go to resources where we can really, you want to break down the walls of the classroom, we need to use the technology effectively, and that some of the things that have come through the initiatives that they have at iLearn Maryland and that they have at MSET help support the vision that we have and the approach that we're taking.
So the individual teacher would decide where in their curriculum they would implement this. Y'all don't have a preconceived piece of it, that it would be a science or social studies or...
We think that's where the authenticity comes in. That's how you can make it authentic.
Sure.
Each teacher has their own style.
Right.
Each classroom has their own students.
Right.
So we have all these resources. You're a trained person that can make a great decision of how can I make this fit authentically with my students and my style.
And because everybody might not be there in their walk, everybody's in a different place in their walk in our schools. I mean,
Sure.
The key is the intentional way that we lay out the PD with the principals and assistant principals and leaders in that way, leaders of central office. But then after that, getting with the lead teachers who are the in-building coaches, because they're the in-building coaches and they know the people they're working with, and they know what their capacity is, and they know how they can support them and help them. So, that targeted part, I think that puts somebody at the ground level in every building. And when you put that at the ground level in every building, if we sell it right, and I think that's something that we feel like we have an advantage of. You give us the opportunity to go in front of people and talk about this, we're going to sell dreams. And then the thing is, if we can start building critical mass and create this sort of wave, we feel like even though we have resistors and people are kind of resistant to this, that the critical mass is going to play an important role in our kids succeeding.
It pulls into their passions because they're going to be able to decide, as we said, with that global piece and getting their call to action out there. It builds into passions of students. You mentioned that in the beginning, how important that is. We know, all of us, working with students, when you hit their passion and you drive your instruction with that, things begin to happen.
Sure.
I think when we have that final call to action on the website and we see our Washington County students share their passions and their desires and a solution, a call to action of what we can do to help, we envision it could be things as far as donating towards a particular cause. It could be changing a habit that would help our environment or something. Those are the types of things, but it'll be our Washington County kids on our website that anybody can access through the internet, and I think that will empower others, the resistors, to join in and have similar student reactions.
And we already have footage of teachers in our county doing this. That was one of the videos we couldn't show. We have some footage of them talking about this and the way that it's impacted, so they're on there already. Now, and their students as well, and things they've been doing. So we think that if we know.
However, even those teachers can continue to improve.
Absolutely.
So the participation in the iTunes course, the professional development, as well as having the students create a project would be voluntary for the teachers and for the teams.
Correct. What's not voluntary right now in all schools is creating Common Core aligned units, and this is another tool to do a really great job at that. So they will, this will allow them to tap into a requirement, but do it even better.
Since we have a little time, any questions from NEEL participants for the group? Okay, wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thanks.